Selena Gomez, known for her music, acting, and outspoken mental health advocacy, is suddenly in the headlines, but not for a song or a new show. This time, it's a company she co-founded that's making waves for all the wrong reasons. Employees are speaking out about unpaid wages, layoffs, and major internal chaos. And with her mom involved as CEO, everyone's looking at Selena. But what actually went wrong? Was it mismanagement, bad luck, or something else entirely? In the next few minutes, we're going to break down the full story behind Wondermind, from its ambitious beginnings to the financial troubles and controversies that have left fans and employees asking one big question: how did it all fall apart? Wondermind was launched in 2021 as a mental health media startup, co-founded by Selena Gomez, her mom Mandy, and entrepreneur Daniela Pearson. On paper, it seemed like a perfect idea. A space dedicated to breaking mental health stigmas, offering podcasts, essays, interviews, and other content designed to help people feel seen, understood, and supported. Selena has always been open about her own struggles with anxiety and depression, and she wanted Wondermind to be more than a company. It was meant to be a safe, trustworthy place where people could actually lean on resources for mental wellness. The vision resonated with investors, and they raised $5 million in funding, valuing the company at an impressive $100 million. For fans, it seemed like a perfect marriage of Selena's influence and her passion for mental health advocacy. Interviews and podcasts featuring real stories, expert advice, and honest conversations promised to make mental fitness accessible to everyone. Selena and Mandy even shared that the idea started from personal conversations about loneliness, therapy, and the hurdles people face in seeking help. It was a personal mission that turned into a high-profile business venture. And at first, it looked like Wondermind could really make a difference. But even with the strong start and big ambitions, cracks were quietly forming behind the scenes, cracks that would soon lead to chaos for the company and everyone involved. In its early days, Wondermind captured attention with its fresh approach to mental health. Podcasts, essays, and interviews were designed to break stigmas and give people tools for mental fitness, something Selena was deeply passionate about. Fans and media praised the company as an innovative content hub, and the excitement around it kept growing. It seemed like Selena's influence and personal story were the perfect foundation for a platform that could genuinely impact people's lives. Investors were optimistic too. The $5 million funding round in 2021 and a $100 million valuation created a sense that Wondermind wasn't just a celebrity project. It was a serious player in the mental health space. On top of that, the content itself felt authentic. Selena often shared that Wondermind was born from real conversations between mothers and daughters, exploring the challenges of therapy, loneliness, and mental health access. For a while, everything seemed to be moving in the right direction, and the team believed in the mission wholeheartedly. But beneath this early promise, warning signs were quietly appearing. Internal disagreements and growing pressure hinted that the company's ambitious vision might not be enough to sustain it, and what came next would completely change the course of Wondermind's story. By 2023, the first real cracks in Wondermind's foundation started to show. Mandy, Selena's mom, stepped in as the sole CEO after co-founder Daniela Pearson left the company. The reasons for her departure remain unclear, but insiders say this marked the beginning of the company's financial struggles. Employees claimed that Mandy lacked the experience to run a fast-growing startup and made decisions that contributed to mounting problems. One of the biggest points of tension reportedly involved high-value brand deals. Employees alleged that Mandy turned down major opportunities, like a multi-million-dollar partnership with Airbnb, if Selena wasn't personally involved. These missed deals added strain to a company that was already burning through cash. On the other hand, Mandy's team argued that such statements misrepresented the situation, claiming outsiders didn't see the full picture of behind-the-scenes negotiations. While Selena remained the public face of Wondermind, her actual involvement in day-to-day operations was limited. According to reports, she rarely met with staff and focused more on her personal projects. This disconnect between the company's ambitions and the realities on the ground started to affect employee morale. People who once believed in Wondermind's mission began to feel uncertain, frustrated, and anxious about the future. And then, the first real impact on employees hit. They weren't getting paid. The financial troubles quickly turned into a crisis for Wondermind employees. Reports surfaced that by March 31st, 2025, some staff members hadn't received their paychecks for the second half of the month. On top of that, health benefits, including dental and vision coverage, had been terminated 2 weeks earlier. The news created immediate panic among employees, many of whom relied on these benefits for themselves and their families. Mandy sent an email to the team attempting to explain the situation. She blamed the delays on a late investor payment and promised that funds were on the way. Employees were asked to temporarily elect into COBRA coverage, meaning they had to pay both their portion and the company's portion of their premiums, with a promise of reimbursement once the next round of funding came through. Even though Mandy tried to reassure the staff, the repeated delays and broken promises only fueled anxiety and frustration. The situation worsened when layoffs began. According to Forbes, nearly 2/3 of Wondermind's staff were let go, leaving only 4 employees remaining. What was once an ambitious, high-profile startup suddenly felt unstable and uncertain. Faith in the company began to crumble as employees questioned leadership decisions and their own financial security. And while employees struggled to understand what was happening, many also looked to Selena, wondering why the co-founder wasn't stepping in to help. Even after layoffs and missed paychecks, Wondermind's financial turmoil didn't stop. By April 30th, employees still hadn't received full payments, leaving many frustrated and uncertain about their future. To try to stabilize the situation, Mandy reportedly took a personal loan against her home, intending to cover debts and keep the company afloat. But even this measure wasn't enough to instantly solve the payroll issues, as wire transfer delays meant employees still had to wait, fueling even more anxiety. Internal sources described a growing sense of panic among the remaining staff. Trust in leadership was eroding, and promises of incoming investments felt increasingly hollow. Plans for new projects, including initiatives for Mental Health Awareness Month, were put on hold or outright canceled. Criticism from investors about the company's lack of proven engagement with audiences added to the pressure, leaving employees feeling caught between leadership missteps and financial instability. The chaos wasn't just about money. It was about confidence. Staff members were left wondering if Wondermind could survive, and whether the promises of a mental health platform that truly made a difference were now just empty words. But while the company spiraled, questions about Selena's role started gaining even more attention online. Fans and employees alike were asking, how involved is she really? And could her presence, or absence, have made a difference? Selena Gomez's connection to Wondermind has become one of the most talked about aspects of the company's struggles. Officially, she holds the title of Chief Impact Officer, but she hasn't been involved in day-to-day operations. Reports from Forbes suggest that in 3 years, she met with staff only once and rarely engaged in promotional activities for the company. Some employees saw this as a lack of support, questioning why a co-founder with so much influence wasn't stepping in during a crisis. However, not all reports paint the same picture. People magazine later clarified that Selena took action as soon as she learned about the financial issues. She invested millions to support the company's future and continued to back her mother's leadership, despite not being involved in daily decisions. These investments were aimed at keeping Wondermind afloat and sustaining its mission, rather than directly managing operations. The public perception versus reality has created tension. Online, Selena has faced criticism for not doing more, while insiders argue she's consistently contributed financially to keep the company alive. Her role may not be visible, but her support has been significant behind the scenes. Still, employees struggling with unpaid wages and layoffs have expressed disappointment, making her name a focal point of frustration, even if the full story is more nuanced than headlines suggest. And as the debate over responsibility continues, it raises a bigger question. How much accountability should fall on a celebrity founder when things go wrong? Looking at Wondermind's struggles, it's clear there isn't a single cause or villain. Multiple factors combine to create the current chaos. Financial mismanagement, missed opportunities, and internal disagreements all played a role. Some employees point to Mandy's decisions, like turning down brand deals, while others note that low consumer engagement and high expectations may have made it impossible to sustain the business at its projected valuation. Investor delays added another layer of stress. Funding that was expected to cover payroll and new projects didn't arrive on time, leaving employees in limbo. Even as promises were made about Series B investments totaling $20–30 million, delays and miscommunications created frustration. For a company positioned as an innovative mental health platform, the gap between the mission and operational reality became painfully obvious. Meanwhile, Selena's presence complicated perceptions. Her name and reputation are tied to Wondermind, so when things went wrong, she naturally became part of the conversation. Social media reactions and online discussions amplified the pressure, blurring the lines between celebrity involvement and actual business management. Ultimately, Wondermind's story highlights the challenges of launching a high-profile startup, especially when it's tied to a celebrity name and a socially conscious mission. Ambition, good intentions, and public interest are not always enough to guarantee smooth operations or financial stability. Wondermind started as a bold vision, a company combining Selena Gomez's influence with a mission to break mental health stigmas and provide a safe space for honest conversations. Early success, millions in funding, and a $100 million valuation made it feel like a project that could truly make an impact. But as the years passed, financial missteps, leadership changes, and operational challenges turned that vision into a complicated mess. Employees faced missed paychecks, canceled benefits, and layoffs, while public scrutiny and online debates added pressure. Selena's involvement, though significant financially, was limited in day-to-day management, leaving some to question her role in the company's struggles. Yet the reality behind the headlines is nuanced. Investments were made, steps were taken to stabilize the company, and the mission remains alive in intent, even if execution faltered. Wondermind's story is a reminder that even the most well-intentioned ventures, especially those tied to celebrity names, can face unexpected challenges. Ambition, passion, and public goodwill can only go so far when finances, operations, and communication falter. So what do you think went wrong? Could Wondermind have avoided this crisis? Or was it a perfect storm of ambition and mismanagement? The story isn't over, and the answers may surprise you.